Leaders of the U.S. intelligence community made Russia's invasion of Ukraine the spotlight of today's worldwide threats hearing with the Senate. CBS's Skyler Henry has the details from Capitol Hill.
The nation's intelligence leaders accused Russia of reckless disregard for civilians in Ukraine, even as sanctions squeeze President Vladimir Putin's economy.
We assess Putin feels aggrieved the West does not give him proper deference and perceives this is a war he cannot afford to lose.
At the annual hearing on worldwide threats to America's security, lawmakers asked how the conflict overseas could hit home.
How concerned are you as Russia gets more and more stymied on the military front that they may unleash some of their additional cyber tools?
We remain vigilant. We're 15 days into this conflict. By no means are we sitting back and taking this casually.
While the war in Ukraine was front and center, the intelligence hearing touched on a range of threats to national security, from terrorism to foreign influence on American politics.
They've seen what the Russians are capable of. They intervened in our elections in 2016.
Michael Allen served under former President George W. Bush at the National Security Council. He says while Russia is the prominent geopolitical foe, other countries, including China, still pose threats.
And when we consider that military power often flows from tremendous economic power, people worry, is the United States up to being the leader of the world with a rising China?
The panel echoed these concerns, especially with China's race to technological dominance.
Nothing is going to matter more to the future of CIA and I think the U.S. intelligence community more broadly than our ability to compete technologically.
With much of the focus on the escalating human toll in Ukraine, intelligence leaders say they're documenting Russia's actions to hold the government accountable. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And for more information, I want to bring in CBS News' senior investigative correspondent, Catherine Herridge. Catherine, intelligence officials, as you know, do these types of briefings annually. Today's focus was primarily on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Officials warned about a policy called escalate to de-escalate. What does that mean?
Well, you're right, Nicole. This is a Russian policy, escalate to de-escalate. And what it means in simple terms is that the Russian leadership is willing to intensify the crisis in an effort to intimidate their adversary, bring them to the negotiating table, and extract concessions. And what's part of this Russian nuclear escalation chain is that they would use tactical nuclear weapons in order to intensify that crisis. And they'd use these mini nukes on a conventional battlefield.
What exactly is a tactical nuclear weapon?
Well, a tactical nuclear weapon is one that's like a mini nuke, if you will. It's a short-range device or a gravity bomb, and it's designed to look at objectives such as government buildings or even an airport. And the difference with a strategic weapon is that that's typically an intercontinental ballistic missile, so something that could hit Washington or New York or Los Angeles from overseas. But the most important thing is the lens through which the U.S. and Russia view nuclear weapons. The U.S. and its allies see nuclear weapons as a deterrent, like an insurance policy. But Russia, under this doctrine, sees these tactical nuclear weapons as another tool in their military toolbox for use in a conventional conflict.
And so under what circumstances might a tactical nuclear weapon be considered?
Well, what we heard at the hearings this week and then was also confirmed by outside experts who've worked under previous administrations on the nuclear and the Russia issue is that if Vladimir Putin was really backed into a corner and was facing what he believed to be a humiliating defeat, he might reach for the use of a tactical nuclear weapon, again, to use this escalation concept to intensify the conflict to a point that he thinks he can intimidate the U.S. and NATO and then bring them to this bargaining table to get concessions.
And did officials say how likely it was for tactical nuclear weapons to be deployed?
The experts we spoke to, and these are people with experience under Democratic and Republican administrations, said that the likelihood of a nuclear conflict is low, but they emphasize that we really are at the highest risk for some kind of use of a tactical nuclear weapon, a mini nuke, than we've ever been in recent years.
And more broadly speaking, what does prosecuting Putin for his military aggression look like?
We've been working on this topic with the CBS investigative unit, and what we found is that historically it's been a years-long process to build a war crimes case, especially against the leader of a country. But what really stood out to us in our reporting is they said the situation, the Russian aggression in Ukraine is so severe and unfolding so rapidly, they felt a case could be built really in a matter of weeks, even months, which really is a truncated timeline.
Wow, Catherine Herridge, thank you for that deep dive.
You're welcome.